In the opening 5 rounds of the 2016 250 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, Joey Savacci, Alex Martin, and Cooper Webb all carried the points lead for at least one race. And Alex's brother, 2-time defending champion Jeremy Martin, was nearly always in the top 3 in the points standings. There was no rider firmly in control of the title race. But by the time the series arrived at Spring Creek Motocross Park for round 8, every contender was desperate to stop Webb after 3 straight wins.
And it looks like it's the Martin brothers 1-2 into turn 1 and out of it. Alex Martin and Jeremy Martin.
Cooper once again looked untouchable in Moto 1, passing both Martin brothers for the win, with Jeremy finishing second. But in Moto 2, Jeremy found the speed that had carried him to championships in the past, taking the Moto win and his first overall victory of the season.
In front of all those fans who grew up watching this kid race here, Jeremy Martin on top.
We tied on points, Cooper and Jeremy today, but the big thing is him winning. He's on the high now. He's got the ball rolling, the momentum on his side.
It's tough having Jeremy as a teammate. You're on the same bike, so you know if you get beat, it's like, it's all you. This year, he's the 2-time champ, and I'm trying to get my first outdoor title. You don't want to lose, and especially to the guy that's sitting right next to you. Definitely makes it a rivalry situation.
Although every rider in the 250cc class has the goal of a 450 contract, Cooper Webb was the industry favorite leading into the 2016 outdoors. But 5 weeks before round 1, Cooper's chances seemed lost when he broke his wrist while practicing.
I thought I would be sitting out outdoors with the navicular. I mean, I've heard so many bad things about it. Why go take a chance to even hurt your wrist and risk your 450 career over a 250 title? If it gets bad enough, you could be done just right then and there. At one point, it was high up sponsors and friends and everybody being like, dude, don't be an idiot.
Jeremy Martin had been unsuccessful in Supercross, but a 3rd outdoor title would likely grant him a contract. Cooper had 2 consecutive Supercross championships, but had never won a title in the outdoors.
I've wanted to win outdoors just as bad as Supercross, but it's just never worked out. This is it. I'm not going out of this class being known just for my Supercross results. I didn't work this hard just to sit here with a broken bone and cry on the couch. I'm gonna race.
Yamaha racing manager Keith McCarty is in charge of hiring riders for their 450 roster. And because Yamaha had the budget for just one more rider, he had a multi-million-dollar decision to make in 2016.
It's been a very long time since we've won a major title in motocross here at Yamaha, so we worked with the Star Racing team, and we had Jeremy Martin and Cooper Webb both coming through the 250 class around the same time. What gives one guy the nod more than the other?
If Cooper Webb gets on the podium today riding with a broken wrist in a race that many people did not even think he could show up for, that would be phenomenal.
I was on the podium at Hangtown, which nobody thought. I mean, even myself, I didn't think I'd podium. I won a moto at Glen Helen, and Colorado, I was on the podium in a moto. At that point, I think I was 13 points out of the championship, and I'm just like, how did this happen?
By round 5, Webb's wrist was fully healed, and he celebrated by winning 5 out of the next 8 motos, and did not finish outside the top 3 for 4 straight nationals. While his competitors, Joey Savacci, Alex Martin, and Jeremy Martin, all drifted far behind due to misfortunes or mistakes.
That is Jeremy Martin, your defending series champion. Martin was trying to climb his way back into this championship. A disaster for him.
The momentum Jeremy gained from his round 8 victory came to an abrupt end when he broke several ribs in a crash a week later at round 9, ultimately ending his season. After his run of dominant finishes, Cooper was in a position to wrap up the championship 1 round early at Budds Creek, Maryland, a situation very few expected Cooper to be in after he had lost to Adam C. and Cirillo throughout his amateur career.
I feel like I'm always the underdog, trying to win. In the amateurs, I was always definitely overshadowed by AC, but without having him, I probably wouldn't be who I am today, because I hated losing to him. Even when I felt like I was riding at 100% on the practice track, I was just like, well, I wonder what AC's doing. I bet he's probably going a little faster than me. I better wake it up. When you're sitting there, you win the moto against him, and you have all the media people just like walk right by you over to him, and that was like the first real time I beat him at Loretta's, and I'm like, I worked hard for this. Like, where's my shine? That's what always fired me up. No matter how many races or whatever I do, I'm always gonna just have that underdog fight, I think.
Big crash in turn number 1. Couple bikes down, couple bikes stopped. One of the riders that went down in turn 1 is Cooper Webb. So Webb 38, as the 17 had to pick his motorcycle up and get running.
At the race when he was supposed to wrap up his first outdoor championship, Webb had his 2 worst starts of the season. But he passed 30 riders to finish 6th in Moto 1, and then passed 15 riders to finish 3rd in Moto 2, which was more than enough to clinch the title.
Cooper Webb is going to finish the Moto 3rd, and that will be enough to wrap up the 2016 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship 250 class.
Cooper Webb, I still believe he has more heart than anybody out there, more aggressive than anybody, and he wants it more than anybody, and I think he's proven that this year.
It's definitely a dream come true to make it through the 250 class, through the amateurs, all that, and to finally have a awesome deal on a 450 team. Keith McCarty from Yamaha said, we're doing our factory team for you, and you're gonna be our guy, and we're gonna get back to our winning ways.
Sometimes things don't always line up exactly the way you want them to. I would have liked to have gone 450, but looking forward to ending hopefully 2017 with a bang in the 250 class.
Cooper was the only rider in the 250 class awarded a lucrative contract to race the 450s next year, and he seems to be celebrating in humble fashion, requesting an ATV from Yamaha as his luxury toy. But Cooper's celebrations will not last long. For motocross champions, nearly all off-season months are spent preparing for the coming year. For his trainer Swanepoel, 2017 will provide an opportunity to compete against fellow South African Alden Baker, the accomplished trainer for Ryan Dungey, the defending Supercross champion.
There's many South African trainers. The country's going down the pipeline, so if you want to get out and have a successful life, you have to make it happen elsewhere. Alden has set the mark. I mean, he's the greatest trainer, so there's a lot of respect for Alden, but I want Cooper Webb to step up next year and beat Alden's guys, you know, so that's the goal.
If you get a guy that's pretty dominant in the 250, he's going to get a good contract, which he deserves. How does that change the guy? Does he rest on those laurels? Does he get caught up with all the opportunities now that get dragged in when you have a good budget, you know, where you can pretty much go and buy what you want and set yourself up? You got women that pour in, that all love you, want something out of you. How does this guy deal with all those scenarios when he's still very young, and how does he mature that quickly to then be able to focus and apply himself?
The 450 is a whole nother beast. You can be good on a 250, and who knows, you might not be good on a 450. It just takes balls, I guess, but you know, it's something that I've dreamed of since I was a kid, so I'm gonna do it.